says on. How's everybody? I'm here today with my husband Ron, or Mr. Jenny as he likes to be called. And we had a big announcement today. I am also here with Kate. Kate is going to field our questions and all the things we have going on that you guys want to know out there. Kate, where do we have people joining us from?
All over. Linda says hi from Davenport, Iowa.
Nice.
And Brenda says hello from Indiana. Linda has also already ordered her box, so she's on top of it. And then Hazel Ann says hello from rainy Scotland.
Oh, nice. I want to go there, Hazel. I want to come visit you. We went to Scotland a few years ago, and it was awesome, wasn't it? It was just amazing. We actually were like, can we rent a house and stay here for a year or for a month? Not a year, probably we'd have to come back before a year, but a month would be good, right?
We figured out a way to do a month.
So can I just say how snazzy and Christmassy my husband is looking today? You're looking so snazzy,
Well,
honey.
thank you.
Yeah, we may get an appearance from Santa later in the season, but
Yes.
right now it's just Mr. Ron with me today. So what else we got going on, Kate?
Well, we are currently trying to get live on Facebook. So if you're watching on YouTube because you bounced over here from Facebook, we are working to get that fixed right now. But today is the big pre-sale. The holiday box is finally here. Everybody wants it early to make sure they get it, and we have it.
Okay, apparently we're back on Facebook, and you know, you just never know about technical things that are going to happen. So we are here today to talk about this, our Jenny box for the year. Is this not the cutest box you've ever seen?
I love it.
It's so cute. It's like a little suitcase, and it's got the stickers on it for the different stores in town because we've been to all of them. Look at these. It is so cute. We really upped it with the box this year. This box is currently empty, but yours will not be. No, it won't. It'll be full of goodies. For those of you who don't know anything about the Christmas box, I'm here doing the live today, and we're talking about the release of this box right here. So this box is full of things that I curate. It's an Advent box. You get 25 gifts, and you get them in time to open them on December 1st through December 25th. In my heritage, we did Advents all the time. As a kid, we did Advents. We did Advent calendars for our kids. We have a little antique Coke box that we put little figures in every single day throughout the holiday season. So Advents are a big deal in our family, and so I love the idea of doing an Advent box. So you get 25 gifts. You can open one every day. There are some real rebels out there that open them all at once. I know you're shocked to hear this, aren't you? But they do. They open them all at once. Anyway, so I curate the gifts myself. We look for those. We search for those. We look for just the best thing. And I think that if any of you have seen any of the things that have been in the last boxes that we've done, you know we just get better and better every year. We find more cool stuff and lots of fun things, and it's not all fabric. So for me, you know, some people want all fabric and some people don't. And I decided that I like lots of things. So, and a lot of things like fabric often we'll buy ourselves, but maybe we won't buy ourselves a really cute wall clock to go in our sewing room. And so you get one in your box. So anyway, we look for all those things, and it's just really fun for me to curate. And so, you know, it's full of all those goodies, and the packaging is cool and the wrapping is cool. Yes, Kate?
Lots of enthusiasm for the box design this year.
Right?
She says she loves the box.
Because we can, like, carry a suitcase and go, you know?
It's true.
So one of the things I love about these boxes, like last year's box and this year's box, is they make great gifting boxes as well. You know, when that season's over and you have finished opening up your boxes, like, it'll fit a quilt. And so I love that about that because, you know, lots of us gift those. So it's fun to see that.
You could use it as an ornament box too.
An ornament box?
Yeah,
oh,
wrap your ornaments up in it.
That's a great idea. You could put your ornaments in here. That's a great idea. Good job, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you. So a couple people, Beth said that she loved last year's box. She had so much fun opening the gifts each day on Zoom with her daughters.
Nice.
And Paula says, last year was so fun. My bestie and I opened together 600 miles apart every day, and we both have already ordered this year.
Oh, I love that. So the other thing is that this box is available for pre-order starting at what, midnight last night or something like that?
So it opened at midnight.
Yeah, it opened at midnight, and so it's available for pre-sale. So you can pay half or you can pay the full amount and order it and guarantee you a spot. And we started doing this because the first year we announced it and they sold out, and they sold out so fast, and people were like, wait, it was at work. I didn't know you were announcing it, you know, all these things. So then last year we had a pre-sale, and we left it open for quite a few days, and that's the same with this way. How long is it open this time?
2 weeks. So
2
it starts
weeks.
today, and we'll have the pre-sale going for 2 weeks.
Holy moly.
So
All
you've
right,
got
you guys.
time to make some choices.
You got 2 weeks. So last year, I kid you not, I got, you know, we had it open for pre-sale. We had a second sale in October, and I still had people who were going, I didn't get one, I didn't get one. So if you want one, just go ahead and order it, because, you know, you're going to have fun with it in December, that's for sure. A lot of people who, the mail has been so fascinating that I've gotten about this box, because some of it, like, you know, if you're just a gal by yourself, you know, we don't generally buy ourselves 25 gifts. And there was one lady who sent me a picture, and she says, I've never bought a Christmas gift, but look what's under my tree, you know, and she had all these little packages, and it was just so, so cute for me to see. It just has made so many people so happy.
So a comment, Linda, hello from sunny Cal-Or border. Ron is such a good sport to wear that outfit.
Isn't he, though? I think, Ron, Ray, you should stand up and give us a little twirl. So look at this. How cute is this, right? I have to say, our company president, Lisa, bought him this. Give us a turn, Ron. Come on, turn around. It's so cute, right? The jacket, the tie. Yeah, you just need like a red newsy cap or something.
There you go, yeah.
There we go.
Pull the whole thing together.
Fabulous.
And Donna would like to know, do you duplicate gifts from past boxes?
No, we do not. We do not. Mostly that's because I just love to find new stuff. All right, you can sit again. We can both sit.
And someone wants to know if you can be bribed to spill what the details inside the box
I cannot, actually. This is one place where I really keep the secret. And I don't know how I do it, but I really keep the secret. So what's fun is that I even know everything that's in the box, but I rarely remember like what day it's on. And so Ron and I actually open it ourselves. You know, he'll be like, have you opened your gift? And he'll bring me my little present, whatever day it is, and we'll open it. And it's always, I know, even though I know what it is, I don't know what day. So I'm always like, oh, this is the day, you know, for this. And so, and he doesn't have any idea what it is. So he has fun with it. We've always enjoyed it. Actually, not last year because I was kind of a slacker, but the year before I had a 25-day box for me. And I got him a 25-day box too. So I have things that I got for him special.
Different things, yes.
Yeah. So like I just went and bought, like, he got a candy bar one day and some
A lot of
socks.
candy bars.
And
A lot of candy bars.
all right, he loves chocolate. What can I say? Anyway, so I made him a little box so he'd have something to open as well, because I knew I was going to have something to open. And you know, it's just the two of us, and it was just really fun, really fun. Yes.
So there are questions about how much it is, and it is $169.95, and you can do that in 2 different payments. You can pay all of that up front right now, or you can do half now and half later. And then there's also different shipping options that'll change what that final price is for you too, depending on if you need international or anything like that. And then Kathy would like to know what types of gifts are in it. Can you give us like a...
Sure, I can give you types. So there'll be some fabric in there, not a ton. And then I base the fabric around some projects, cute projects. We're not telling what, really cute projects. I try to do some notions. I try to do, you know, things that I have used and loved. I always throw in some really fun things, you know, that are sewing room appropriate and or quilter appropriate. And, you know, like the first year I had things in there that were like, had scents to them, like, soap and things like that. And those things don't ever go over very well because not everybody loves the same scents. I know I don't love the same scents, as a lot of people. And so, you know, we try to be really sensitive to that part of it. But, oh my gosh, this year, it's so good. It's so good. There's a couple of things that, they're really good. They're really, really good.
Can't say more than that.
I just can't.
Too much hinting to tell what it is.
Right. I started to give some hints, and I'm like, no, you No, I can't say it.
Well, and one of the things that's really fun about this experience too, and there's a little link right there on the box so everyone can find it, is that once you get your box, you can go and watch you open a gift every day.
That is really cool. So that was one of the things we did last year that worked out so well, is that every day we had a video, and I'd tell you why I included that. Well, first, I'd stand up here. Santa would come in and bring the gift, and then we'd open it, and then I'd tell you why I did it and how to use it, and so we did that for every single gift last year, and it was very, very fun, and people loved knowing the reason why, because it's a lot of times it's little known facts about me, so I love doing that as well, because it's like, oh, I really love this, maybe you guys didn't know this, and so I love doing that as well, telling you guys and showing you guys how the hows and the whys behind the gifts in the box.
Nancy would like to know if all of the items inside the box can be purchased outside of the box, or
the items in the box are exclusive to the box, so you really can't purchase them outside. That's not to say they won't ever be available at Missouri Star, but they're pretty exclusive to the box. I would say like 96% of them are. Every once in a while I put something in because it's like I put the Clover thread cutter pendant in because I love it and I use it every day, and you can wear it around your neck, or you can put it in, you can use it several different ways, and that's something we sell, but it is also it's also super, super useful, and it's one of those, little things like that get lost on a big website really fast, and so if you didn't know to look for it, you wouldn't know where to find it. And sometimes it's something I love that we sell, but I have it made in a color that nobody else can get, so we'll tweak them somehow so that, what you're getting is really, you just can't go and buy it, which I think is really cool also.
Martha said she just loved the videos y'all did.
Oh, good, I'm glad. Thank you, Martha.
And Laura said, I loved getting Chuck the Duck's snow globe last year.
Wasn't that so
cute? And I'm
cute?
curious about if y'all have any favorites from last year you want to drop into the comments. Dalton and Hannah can get those over to us so we can hear what you thought went really well last year.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about your favorites. I'd love to hear that. All right, so I have some mail here. I get a lot of mail, and I actually have an antique metal picnic basket, if that makes sense, and I keep my mail in there until it's too full, and then it goes downstairs in a bin, but it gets kept because to me these are my baskets of love. I did a whole thing in Block Magazine about my basket of love. My mom, when I was a girl, I said to her one day, what do you do with all the cards that we made you as kids? And she says, oh, they're in my basket of love. And she showed me, and she had this basket, and it had, all the birthday cards and things like that in there. And she said, if I have an off day, she says, I just go sit with my basket of love and read some of those loving messages, and it makes me feel happy. So I have baskets of love from you guys. So here's one. This is from, oh my. Deambra, yeah. Oh, I was trying to make that 2 words. Oh, shoot. I forgot my glasses. Let me see if I can do this without my glasses. All right. Dear Missouri Star, I want to thank you all for the lovely surprises in Jenny's Christmas box. I look forward each day for visits from Santa and Jenny. It was such a blessing to open a gift after working retail that day. Oh, my goodness. Can you imagine working retail at Christmas? I can, because we do it here. You really added to my joy. You really added joy to my Christmas. Thank you again. Love, Deambra. Oh, how cute is that? She's from Alaska. Well, they get a lot of Christmas snow up there, don't they?
So some more love for last year's box. Emily says she loved the clock.
I love the clock, right? The clock is the cutest thing. It actually hangs in my studio now, right underneath my giant safety pin that I got on Amazon.
Roxy agrees the clock was great, as well as the tumbler.
Oh yeah, the cup tumbler. So that was kind of a fun one to design because, we did it with a quilting pattern, but it also has pertinent information on it. A lot of times we're looking how many jelly rolls, make this size, what size is a twin size and queen size bed, and we have all those measurements on the tumbler. So you can drink and, take a look at what you need, and I just thought it was really cool idea.
Kathy said the pillow pattern was one of her favorites, and the pin cushion.
That is a favorite. That one came from the retreat center. The girls at the retreat center did that one year, and I was just like, oh, that is so cool. Let's do that. Yeah, cool.
I don't think this is her real name. I think this is her name on YouTube. Nana to 5 boys said that she loved everything, but one of her favorites was the soap thread spool.
Oh, that was so cool. So there are 2 little boys in town who make this soap, and they gave me one for Christmas, and I was like, could you make enough of these that I could put them in my Christmas box? And they're like, yeah, we can. So they literally made 600 of these a day, so they would have enough to support our box. And they were one of the first ones to have all their product in. And they're like, I don't know, 12 and 16 or 14, 16, something like that. Anyway, they recently got Entrepreneur of the Year for our town of Hamilton.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So what is the name of their soap? Do you remember?
I don't.
The company. Okay, I can't think of it. Let me read you another letter. Dear Jenny and Santa, oh, what fun. I love the snow globe. I had my 5-year-old granddaughter open the box at Thanksgiving. I loved having so many new projects to do. As a quilter, I have plenty of fabric, which is why I so enjoy opening my gifts with you and Santa each day and seeing a fun new project. All the gifts showed your loving thoughts. Thank you for a fun month. May you and Santa be blessed with joy in 2022. Love, Nancy. She says, P.S. My husband and I are enjoying the puzzle, and I love the clock.
Had a good puzzle.
Isn't that fun?
Maggie said she loved the cookie cutter last year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I actually have a little letter about the cookie cutter. I thought that was really fun, too. So it was fun to include a recipe and so we had a little project in there that had, I'm such a terrible letter opener. I'm like, my father's always looked like, he would like cut just an end or something. You wouldn't even know it was open. It was very good.
It's a skill.
But I had a little letter about the cookie cutter. Let me see if I can find which one it is. Maybe this one. No, this is a different one. But I have it over here. But anyway, so we included a cookie cutter and a recipe, and then a pattern for a table runner that if you traced around the cookie cutter, you could make a snowflakes. It was a pattern for a tree and snowflake runner. And so it was like triple gift on that day.
I did get word from Dalton. The soap company is Maducky Soap Company.
Oh, Maducky Soap. Yeah. And apparently they're like in a bunch of quilt shops across the country now. So that's
cool.
Really fun. Maducky.
And Emily said she really liked trying out the fuse powder, and she ordered some more.
Oh yeah, so that was one of those notion things that I've gotten to where I really love, and that was a fusible powder, and there's no spray or anything. You just sprinkle it on like salt shaker, and you iron it, and the heat activates it, and it holds it together without anything. So we gave everybody a good sized little sample, and it goes a long way. So that little sample is, it's going to last people. So I think that's really fun. This one says, Dear Jenny, I want to thank you for all the thoughtful items in my Christmas box. My husband looked forward each morning as I opened my gift to see what it was. I have completed the items and smile each time I finish one, thinking of all the effort you and your workers put into collecting the items and packaging them. The packaging is fun, too, inside the box. Even the packaging is fun. I will look forward to ordering again this year. That's from Val.
There are a few questions about how many boxes we shipped out last year.
I think it was like 20,000.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds about right.
It was substantial.
Oh, here is the one from I was looking for a big envelope because I knew it was on this letter, but here's this picture right here of the snowflake, and she made a little mug rug, and she made the other things as well. Are we getting to see this one, guys? Okay, good. All right, so let me share you a little bit what it says. I've been thinking about writing you a thank you note ever since the second week of December when I opened another lovely gift from your countdown to Christmas. I want you to know firsthand that I appreciate both the thought that went into the choices you made and the generosity of the gifts. You may or not... Oh, no, I'm not going to read that part because that's about another company who didn't do such a good job on their countdown to Christmas. Anyway, every day it was a joy to open my gift. I will surely enjoy using them. I've enclosed a picture of the mug rug I made using your cookie cutter as a design element for a memento for my 11-year-old granddaughter who got the part of the Snow Queen in the local Nutcracker Ballet. I want you to know I was never a ballet, but there is a play called The Snow Queen, and I was the Snow Queen. during that time in my life when I did a lot of musical theater. So she said, like many folks, we had so many of our planned get-togethers peel off due to bad weather and COVID flare-ups that I started calling Christmas the year of our onion Christmas. We are still catching up with the little Christmases as the weeks go by, but getting to open another countdown gift every day before Christmas was a sweet, nice moment. Some days it was the high point of my day. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, so that is from, let me see here, Linda in Reno, Nevada.
So Patty said that she loved Hillary's book and pre-ordered her other one.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah.
And then Gabby said, my mom gave me an advent calendar every year since I was born. However, she forgot last year due to memory issues. Your box was such a joy to remind me of her every day.
How sweet. That is so sweet. You know, I get a lot of those letters. Last year, it was particularly poignant because there was a lot of letters that came from people who, like their husband had bought it for them on the pre-sale, but then they lost them to COVID. And so every day that they got to open a gift, it was just like having Christmas with them one more time. And it was, I mean, those letters are just heart-wrenching and just so sweet. And you never think about a box doing that, but it does. You know, it just does. It's just sweet. I'm not sure how it happens, but it does. And thank you for sharing your letters and stuff with me because it really touches my heart.
Cindy says, good afternoon. I'm giving a sewing machine to my granddaughter for her 5th birthday. Is this box appropriate for a young girl?
Let me think. I would say it's not inappropriate, you know, it's appropriate. It's sewing stuff, and I don't know that she would use it all because some of it is house stuff, and most 5-year-olds don't have their own home. But most of the ones I know.
Yeah.
But if she, you know, if she has a bedroom or something like that, or she's like really addicted to sewing already at the age of 5, I think that's pretty brave to give a 5-year-old a sewing machine. I think that's a brave move. Yes. But, you know, she could love it, you know. I mean, she would definitely learn some things because there's some things in there. Are they trying to get information out of me? Is that what this is about? They're trying to get me to say things, aren't they? Anyway, I don't think it's inappropriate. I don't know that she would be able to use everything that's in there.
With fabric and patterns and things.
Yeah.
If that's in there.
Those parts.
If they might be in there, that would be appropriate.
You don't know what's in there.
I don't know what's in there.
You don't have a clue what's in there because you're just guessing from last year.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, there's like, you know, I mean, based on last year, I would say most of them are pretty appropriate, you know.
Marla said the box made her teenager excited to learn how to sew.
Oh, very cool. I love that. That's awesome.
And there's another woman, Sue, on Facebook said that she let one of her grandkids open a gift, and then everyone needed to open a gift, and then before she knew it, every single gift was open. So she's starting afresh this year with a new box.
You know, whatever works for you guys. I mean, Ron was the kind of kid who knew everything he was getting before Christmas. I was the kind of kid who did not want to know what I was getting. I loved the surprise, you know, and Ron would sneak into closets and...
Yeah, my sister, yeah.
Those naughty kids.
They learned how to open a package and close it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, oh my gosh.
That's a skill. I was never that sneaky.
Oh.
I couldn't have gotten away with it if I tried.
First it was finding the gift and then opening it.
Look how I open an envelope, I mean, really, you know. But yeah, I could never have gotten in and out of a box, and I would have had to tell someone.
Same.
Like, guess what I'm getting? Mom, guess what you got me for Christmas? You know.
Nellie said, my mom doesn't want to put up Christmas tree since my dad died, so I treated myself to this. Dad would have loved it. He was like a kid at Christmas, and I ordered mine this morning.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Sorry about losing your dad. You know, sometimes as we get older, we don't want to go to all the trouble of putting the stuff up. But that's one of the things I love about our block of the month this year is because it's a Christmas tree, and you could actually hang that quilt instead of doing the needles. And I actually have probably 3 or 4 patterns on Christmas trees that I think are great to make. There was a lady who wrote me, and she said, I always make something for the outside of my son's dorm room door, a quilted wall hanging, you know, for every season for the outside of the door, because she figures that's going to attract the right kind of girl. I can't say she's wrong, right?
Pauline said that she loved the Christmas box and would like to know how to purchase it for someone else. And that's as simple as just changing the shipping information when you're filling it out. Just change the address to who you want to send it to. And
so many people get these as gifts, and I think that's so sweet, you know. And so you can just change the shipping information. It'll come to them. What a surprise that will be, you know.
So that's what Bev said, is she and her sister got them for each other last year and didn't know that the other one did it.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Sisters, you know, they know. Sisters know. All right, here's a joke for you. How much did Santa's sleigh cost?
I don't know.
It was on the house.
Oh.
Just a little dad joke for you. A little Christmas humor. It was on the backside of this envelope from Lana. Lana in, is this Weir, New Hampshire?
Yeah. Well, they need to know that you love dad jokes.
I do love.
So
I love dumb humor.
They can send their dad jokes to you.
Oh my, yes, you certainly could. Let me see, this one says, Dear Jenny, I have been actively quilting since 2016 after a 15-year hiatus. Your wonderful tutorials have been so inspiring. I must admit that the Hunter Star pattern I chose for a wedding gift has been slowing me down a bit. Yeah, not everything is easy. So if you can sew straight from here to here, you can do it, but some things are a little bit more meticulous. She says, let's see. I've never done your countdown to Christmas until this year, and it has been so exciting and useful. There are things in there I would never have thought or known about. I have already used a needle to sew on the binding for a Christmas gift for a dear friend. Thank you so much for all you and your amazing family and staff do, Lana. So, Lana, your writing is perfect. My eyes, just getting a little older. Didn't have my glasses up here. But, yeah, so like last year, we did have some needles in there. But needles they're not a fully day gift. They're always included with several other things because we want every day to feel like ooh, ah, and wow, you know. So don't you worry, you're never just getting a needle. No siree.
They are making suggestions. So Sandy suggested that for a future Christmas box or for sale in the shops, perhaps a Missouri Star letter opener.
Oh my,
great
changer. Idea.
Game changer.
Then my mail would look perfect. Yeah, not like this. Not like this. This is from Nancy in Longmont, Colorado. Let me see what Nancy says. Oh, I just read this one. This was the envelope sorry.
Lots of comments about how y'all are just the cutest Christmassy couple, and questions about Ron. Do you help out or work at MSQC? And if not, what do you like to do in your spare time?
Spare time.
He says being retired is being retired over again. You're tired again. You're retired.
I help out. I help Jenny. I work at other things. My own projects and stuff sometimes. And
this week he has a special job he's doing every day for our son, Alan.
Oh, actually, for our sons, for Jacob and for Alan. For Alan, I get to pick up my grandson Porter at preschool every day.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah, I love taking Porter home. Get him some cookies or crackers.
And then early in the morning, because both these guys are out of town this week, so
both of them.
He's picking up Porter and.
Where are both of them? You want to tell them where both boys are? Okay. Good.
Yes, actually, they're in Paris right now. Both of them on an anniversary trip.
Yeah.
With their wives, not together alone. They each took their wives, which we're really happy about. But so Ron's picking up Porter every day, and for Jacob, he is
clean and feed up pets.
He's doing the pets. He's doing
clean up the pets and feed them, and cats. And,
Jake has a fish tank that has living coral in it, and fish
and crabs.
And all kinds of. He tends to go more for the corals and the rather than he just has a couple of fish in there, but he loves the corals. And then also they have cats. And
cleaning up after that.
Ron is doing on cat and fish duty and grandchild duty. But he was a machinist, and so he does quilt, but it's a little bit more.
I like.
He likes tiny
motorcycles
pieces,
and stuff too.
Landscape stuff.
Well, and I've had 4 grandkids now that have reported to me that I've worked with, and they all have nothing but amazing things to say about your baking skills.
Oh.
He is quite a baker. The
I
other
do
night,
enjoy doing baking.
Yes. The other night we had, now don't be jealous, people, because we had eclairs.
I ate one of them today.
I have
before I
heard
came.
so much
Sorry.
about the eclairs, and like I turned 40 this year, so I'm just going to leave that there.
There we go, there we go.
If that
Oh,
can
is
show
that
up in
what
the
you're-
marketing office,
So the
If you're
kids,
saying-
so
Don't say about
he
it.
actually had all the grandkids over to do a class on how to make eclairs. And then at Christmas, they'll be like, what do you want? He'll say, what do you want? And Jason said one time, he was like, I want a foot-long eclair. So Grandpa made him a foot-long eclair.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
And
Yeah.
he was happy.
Yeah, he does. So Ron also, if you saw any of the promo stuff about the Jenny box, we were in an old Model T, and that's his old car, and he loves to, he's a motorcycle repairman, car repairman, machinist. He loves working on the old cars.
Motorcycles.
Yeah.
And I
Motorcycles are
clean
his
Jenny's
favorite.
sewing machine when she gets so noisy that she can't
Oh my
do
gosh.
anything.
Just yesterday, you guys, he cleaned my sewing machine, and he took the bottom off.
I had her come look at it. It was so bad.
I took a picture of it.
Look how a
because-
cat was stuck up in there.
Well, Hannah is yelling about your eclairs
Oh.
just to me on the chat right now, and she also said that you make your own ice cream.
He
Yes.
does make his in summertime, makes
I
his
used
own
my
ice cream.
mom's recipe for that.
Oh, that's
So basically, I've given over all the cooking to him, and while he's there, he might as well clean, so I've given over that, and the dishes, yeah, just about everything.
Yeah, but the cooking that I do is like eclairs, cookies, brownies, cakes.
Oh no, you
know.
make good food, honey. Think about your tri-tip.
Oh,
That's
and
not-
try. Oh, I gotta go get a tri-tip today too. Come to think of it.
He's a good cook. He's a good cook. Keeps us well fed, all of us. Anyway, what else?
So Beverly said that she ordered her box already, and she is hoping to find a tube of baste in it.
Oh my, tube of base. Yeah, that's probably not
What?
going to happen.
No.
Did you see the April Fool's joke?
No. I
Oh my
missed it.
gosh. So if any of you haven't seen the April Fool's joke, you must go look. Randy did an April Fool's video, but he did a new basting method, and he used tube of baste. And it was like caulk in a caulk gun.
Whoa.
With clamps.
It seriously held together. Probably it
I
will
bet.
last your lifetime.
Was it
Not very cuddly. It's a little stale.
liquid nails?
Yep, it's that kind of a thing, yeah.
Jackie says she ordered her box from customer service from somebody named Jenny, who is a very lovely person.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, only people who work here, they have to be named Jenny, or else we give them that new name. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we do have a Josh.
Yeah, our son Josh works in customer service, so if any of you get Josh, dun dun dun.
He can tell you stories.
We did promise that if anyone had a few sewing questions, we would take them since
Oh,
we've got
please,
you.
yeah.
So if you
Give
have
me
any
all the
sewing or
sewing
quilting questions, we're happy to answer those as well. We did get a question about if you order a gift box for somebody, if we put a note in there saying it's a gift, or if you have to let them know that it's from you. And it's better that you let them know it was from you, just in case a piece of paper doesn't make it in or any of those things.
Yeah,
It's all very...
I
That would
think
be
they're all
best.
kind of prepackaged.
Yeah.
So I think that
be
you had
best.
probably better let them know.
And then another question from Nancy, how long do you have to reserve the box? The pre-sale started today and goes for 2 weeks, so you have until the 19th.
Okay, so
That's
from April
2
now
weeks.
until April 19th, you have to pre-order this box, so you can pay full or you can pay half. And believe me, the value is way more than what is in there. It's a cool box. You guys are gonna love it. All right, I already read Alaska. Let's see, I got one more over here. Karen from Hebron, North Dakota. Karen.
Great.
Dear Jenny and staff, she writes a card like I do. It's like you start here, then you didn't have enough room, so you come over here, and then you didn't have enough room, so you know.
Check it out.
Dear Jenny and staff, hi. This year I participated in the Jenny Advent Box. I only opened one gift per day as instructed. She's so obedient. I thoroughly enjoyed it, looking forward to it each day. In fact, my husband joined me each morning. You included so many wonderful and useful gifts. Thank you. I made the wonderful snowflake cookies, read the cute mystery book, and I'm using the needle minder as we speak. P.S. We made the puzzle. It was so much fun. So, S-E-W, much fun. So she says, let's see, just a little more chit-chatty. She loves the process. It's fun to see the blocks come together. Thanks for all you do for the quilting community. You're awesome. Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Well, and when you hear it all set out like that too, it's just such a lovely holiday experience to sit and do a puzzle and make cookies and read a book. And
well, and I think about all that
in there.
because Christmas tends to be a really hectic time. And so I actually, I used to have some hard and fast rules. They're not hard and fast anymore, but I kind of wish they still were. So by Thanksgiving, my rule was always that I would sit Thanksgiving because, you know, you eat this giant feast and then you just kind of want to sit around. So that's when I would always mail my Christmas cards. And so I do that, but then you know you get a year where you haven't ordered them yet, or they haven't come yet, you know, and it messes everything up. But I like to do that then, and I like to get most of the things done before the December starts, so that I can actually enjoy the season. It's so much more fulfilling when you're not rushing around and leaving things till the last minute. Now, there are things that I love to do in December that make me feel like it's Christmas, and that is making gifts for other people. But I love, you know, I tend to do that for my children. I tend to make everybody a table runner or a wall hanging. Last year, because I did the 12 days of Christmas quilts with my buddy sewer, Cherry, she and I made 12 Christmas quilts and hung them on our porch for the first 12 days. And most of those quilts I gave away at Christmas time to my children. And so that was really cool and really fun because they weren't expecting that. Because a quilt doesn't happen rarely every Christmas. I mean, I did for a while. I've been doing this thing where on holidays, I would actually make a quilt for the holiday, and we would pick a name, and that person would get it, and then their name was out of the bowl until everyone won one at the end of the year. So for a couple of years, I did that. Last year, pulled out all the stops, gave everybody a Christmas quilt because, you know, I mean, I don't need that many, so they're piling up, right?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
I can see like 4 just from where I'm sitting here.
Right. I know people always ask, they would ask Mike, our CEO, at the time, yeah, and they would say, what is Jenny's house like? And they're like, just like you'd imagine. It's a lot of old stuff and quilts.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So all the sewing questions are coming in.
Oh, good. Let me have them. I'm ready.
Karen needs a pattern for a fireplace or shelf mantle. Is there anything you would suggest?
Like, I would suggest a table runner. Because a table runner, I mean, table runners, we think about seeing things from both sides, but if you turn them all going one direction, then it becomes a mantle runner or a, you know, good for the fireplace. And letters, I always love letters, so Misty has the cool letters. And you know, I love to have that, you know, like I have one that says Halloween and, you know, things like that. Yeah, so I love the mantle thing.
When you do a table runner, then do you have to make it a little extra wide so that it can sit or be...
It depends how you want it. So I attach mine. So I put safety pins on the back of mine, and then I put, what are those hooks called that I use? Command hooks. And I put those on my fireplace because they can come off. And then I just hang it flat facing using my safety pins as the part that the hook hooks to.
I would have just found paperweights and shoved it
those
on.
those stocking hangers. Those stocking hangers that are pretty heavy.
Stocking hangers
You
will
can
work
put
out
those
too.
on each side also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to put it up on the mantle and have it hang down, then you can just add a little extra piece on the top, and then you would be able to do that.
Can you think of a table runner that you can think of right offhand that would be nice for
About
Christmas
100 of them.
You got 100 of them?
I have lots of table runners, yeah.
Tina would like to know, when you applique, what kind of stabilizer do you recommend?
Actually, let me go back to the table run thing real quick because he got me thinking. There are loads of quilts that we make during the year that we have 1 or 2 or 3 extra blocks. 3 blocks makes a table runner. You know, 2 blocks makes a small table runner. And so think about using those old blocks that you used in another quilt or project, you know, as your runners too. So don't do that. So then what was this question again?
What kind of stabilizer do you recommend for applique?
So when I do iron and applique, we have a Missouri Star branded fusible that I love. And what is it called? Light, Missouri Star Fuse
You're
and
going to put me on the
Light.
spot right now.
Something like that. It's the one, and it actually fits. We sell a box of saran wrap. And actually, the roll of fusible fits in that box, and you can just slice it off because our saran wrap has this cool slicer. And the box of saran wrap, it has all these quilting designs on it, so it's very cute. But if you take the saran wrap out, you can use your light and fuse and light.
Yeah,
and,
Dalton will find it and put it in the comments for everybody.
Grandkids will find it.
Yeah.
They'll put it up. It'll be good. Dalton's not a grandkid, but I'll take him. I'll take him.
He's aces.
Yeah.
Can you name one or two of your beginner-friendly quilt patterns?
So when I start a beginner, generally we start them at about age 10. That's why I think this woman with the 5-year-old sewing machine, that's very brave. But she knows her grandkids best. You've got to know your grandkids and what they're capable of. So I start them with a sewing machine, no thread, with lined paper. I either draw a design on the paper or I just use, college ruled lined binder paper, we used to call it. And I let them sew with no thread, and when they can stay on the lines, then I know that they have the dexterity to feed fabric under the needle. And so I asked one of my granddaughters once, I said, she said, "Can I sew?" And I said, "Yes, but you have to pass the line test." And she goes, "Really, Grandma?" And I said, "Really?" And so a few minutes later, she handed it back to me, and she did not stay on the lines. She wrote in cursive, "I love you, Grandma." And I was just like, okay, you can sew. And so, so what I start with generally is layer cake squares, because if they can sew straight for 10 inches, and they can do that 6 times, they have a row. And they do that, they do 7 rows, and they have a quilt, and they feel very accomplished about putting this quilt together. The best thing you can do for a beginner quilter is have that quilt quilted, and no comments about let them pick the fabric, let them pick the border, let them pick whatever they want. My grandchildren, the borders don't even go with the fabric. I mean, you just never know what they're going to pick. But at the end of it, when it's all done and it's all quilted, they just look at it and they say, "I can't believe I did this." They're just so stunned. So no judgment, no criticism. They'll come into that as they go. Plus, it lets their creative self emerge, and so just let them pick what they want to pick, let them sew what they want to sew. But those straight sides are really good. So charm pack, the little 2.5s are a little bit tough for little hands. The bigger pieces seem to be better, but I start there, and then you can add in, you can add a sashing in. So if you go through, we have a free app, Missouri Star Quilt Company. It's aqua, and it has our little chuck on it. And it has all the tutorials on there. And if you're wondering if one looks a little too hard, then go watch the tutorial, because often there's a trick. Like I'll do something where, like I take an ordinary block and I'll cut it twice, and so it looks completely different when you get done. But it's not hard to do. It's just an additional step. So I would suggest looking through that, but I always start with those same simple blocks. And honestly, Ron made me one for Christmas that was just flannel blocks.
10-inch blocks.
10-inch blocks. And I literally sit down with the TV with that on my lap every day, every single day. And so, they're very useful. That size is great for couches and things like that. I mean, don't start them off with a king-size quilt. I'm just saying. Lap size is good.
That's fine.
What else?
Maggie would like to know if you keep mail from Canada, which then made me wonder, what is the furthest place you've ever gotten mail from?
I have no idea what the furthest place I've gotten mail from, because YouTube is everywhere. Mm-hmm. The mail also goes everywhere, all over the world. I get it from all kinds of countries. And yes, of course, I keep mail from Canada. I keep all my mail. There's bins of it, and I love it. I just love it. I love that they share things with me. They share their journey. They share what's happening with them with quilting, because quilting is such a healing process. And I think for most of us, when we start out, we don't realize that. I certainly didn't realize it, but it's this process that you go through, and all of a sudden you're able to deal with things that you couldn't deal with before, or you're able to find a piece in your life that you didn't know you were missing. If that makes any sense, I mean, it's just really interesting to watch that happen.
A lot of comments about people who would like a baking tutorial show from Ron.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Whoa.
There's your retirement activity.
There you go.
A baking tutorial.
Mm-hmm. Mary Lee asked, if you see beautiful fabric but you don't have a project yet, how much do you purchase? She also can't wait to get her box. And can we do Christmas in July instead? She can't wait that one.
We do a Christmas in July, but it's more tutorial based, and not this box. This box is only for Christmas. But wait, what was the other question?
I usually buy about half a yard.
Oh, yeah. He buys half a yard because his pieces are smaller. But let me just give you this information. So one layer cake, one packet of 42-inch squares is about 3 yards of fabric. One of those will make a twin. So if you're thinking in your head, that you want to make a twin size quilt, or at least a twin, then you're going to need 3 1-yard pieces, 6 half-yard pieces, or 1 3-yard piece. You know, think about it in terms of pre-cuts. So, you know, 2 pre-cuts makes a queen, so that's 6 yards of fabric. So if you're thinking, I always make queen-size quilts, then you're going to need to get at least 6, probably 7 yards of fabric for that. If I'm looking at it and it's a big print like a border, almost all borders I don't use over 2 yards. So I'll get 1.5 yards to 2 yards of a border. And the way I calculate border fabric is we're going to cut a border, the width of your fabric, which is about 40 inches. So I know it's a little bit bigger than that, but I count on 40 because it's easiest for me to multiply. So 40 strips, so if you make a quilt that's 40, you need 1 per side. If you make a quilt that's 80, you need 2 per side. And so I count on 2, 4, 6, 8 strips times the width. So if I want a 6-inch border, 8 times 6 is 48. So that's not even 1.5 yards. And so I want a 10-inch border, that's 80, and that's just over 2 yards. So, but if you add a 10-inch border, remember you are adding 1 to both sides, and you're adding 20 inches to that quilt. So, so I just figure border yardage, it's the number of strips around times the width. And so a lot of times I'll have a piece of fabric, and I know that I need 8 strips, and I'll be like, I only have like, you know, 30 inches. What size can I make? You know, so if I need 8 strips, you know, 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. So I'm going to have to go with a 4 or a 4.5 inch border because I only have, you know, 30 inches. So it's just depending on the yardage that you have. But that's how I figured, and that's a pretty easy way to do it.
Paul is very thankful for the 'Tis the Season bomb because he made it. Oh, I'm assuming 'tis the season. He said Christmas tree pattern, so that's where my brain went. I made it and used it in the living room as a wall hanging, and my fur babies prevent a tree of any kind, but they do not mess with the wall tree.
Oh, so nice. I love that. Yeah, a lot of us have animals in the house as we get older, and I mean, Jake has like a 20-foot tree, and their cats like are constantly climbing it. So, yeah, I mean, it's whatever works for you. I like the little tree. I mean, we have a tree as well, but I also love the quilted trees. I'm glad you like that.
The next birthday bash is coming in September, so keep an eye out for that, Lorraine. And then Leah would like to know what your favorite seam ripper is and why.
My favorite one is the Clover, and they just seem to be really, really sharp. It's a white one with a little black edge on the top. And now I do have to say, I rarely use a seam ripper. Yeah, nobody believes that.
I use the seam ripper.
Everybody out there's
She gives it to me, and I use the seam ripper.
No, but I do like the Clover seam ripper. A lot of people make me those beautiful seam rippers too, and I love those. Yeah, but the Clover one seems to stay sharp for a really long time, and I just really like it.
So you don't use a seam ripper, and your quilts are always perfectly square, right?
Yeah, never.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was Anna Marie's question. Do your quilts always come out perfectly square?
No, and I never check to see if they're square. I never know anybody who actually folds them up to make sure that they're perfectly square. You know, when I'm trimming a border, I will put a ruler in the corner to make sure that that corner stays square in reference to where the border comes in on the quilt. But I never fold it in half to see if it's exactly square. You know, I make quilts for people to love and use, and being square doesn't really enter that, you know, as far as being needed, you know. But I did learn I was a really good quilter. Moda hung a display of antique quilts, and I don't know if you've ever looked at antique quilts, but we cherish those. Those are our nation's most prized possessions. All that, you know, those old textiles. How do we get the spot out? How do we fold them? How do we take care of them? What do we do? And I love those old quilts, but they're rarely perfect. And I was looking at one yesterday, and the blocks are tiny, but there's seams in those tiny blocks, so they have enough space, you know. They generally hang kind of at a slant, you know, the borders are off, the points are not great, you know, and maybe it's just the quilts I have, I don't know, but I know Moda hung this whole display of them, and I remember walking by with you, we were at Quilt Market, and I was like, hey, Ron, I'm a pretty dang good quilter. Mine at least hangs fairly straight across the bottom, you know. But, you know, if it doesn't hang great across the bottom, I hang it over a couch and nobody knows the difference, you know. So I'm not super particular about that, but things just generally do come out. When you get to the point where you're sewing like I am, which I practice every day, and I've been doing so for many years, and my 1/4 inch is generally pretty consistent. I wouldn't say it's a perfect 1/4 inch because I don't actually measure it. I use the edge of my presser foot. But because I use the edge of my presser foot, then it comes out the same on almost every block, so my blocks fit together pretty well. And if they don't, you know, I make them fit. And so, you know, it's just, yeah, I don't even know if my quilts are square.
Well, and what's nice is the ladies in the over at Machine Quilting will square things up.
Do they?
Pretty nicely for you. They do that to mine. Mine always come back, I feel like, more square than I sent them.
Oh, that's so nice.
So,
That is
yeah,
very nice.
they're
So
doing
yeah,
such a
over at
good job.
Machine Quilting maybe.
So we'll do a few more questions as we wind down for the day. Let's see. Oh, there's so many. Does Jenny like to sew clothes or just quilts? And hello from North Carolina foothills, and that's Melissa.
Melissa, I used to sew clothing all the time. I'm almost 6 feet tall, and so when I was in high school, we could finally wear pants one day a week. And of course, I couldn't buy pants that were long enough. And I had been sewing in 4-H from the time I was 10. And so I have always made a lot of my own clothing, made a lot of clothing for my children. Every picture we have, they're all dressed alike, little sailors, you know, little, all in florals, all in black and white, you know. But it is actually now, it is not cheaper to make clothes. It used to be that was the cheap way to do it. And now it is cheaper to buy clothes than it is to make clothes. And so I don't do a lot of sewing like that anymore, and there are a lot more tall places to get things, so I'm okay, you know. But if I need something, like, you know, we did an auction the other day.
That was quite a
I needed
costume.
that scissor dress for me to wear, so I did make that. And, you know, I do have fun doing that and making that, but it's not regular anymore.
And your hat.
Oh, yeah, my thread hat.
That was magnificent, by the way.
Wasn't that great?
Amanda asked, what do you do with all the quilts and pieces that you use in the tutorials?
So I actually put them in a baggie and I put them in a bin, and I'm going to finish them all someday. I have an entire wall of them. And and I periodically go through them and go, you know what, I'm never going to finish this one. But, you know, when you do step outs, you generally make, you know, 4, 5, 6 blocks. And I think to myself, well, just 3 more blocks and I have a baby quilt, you know. And so I'm so close. And so I do go through those periodically. And, you know, like Natalie and I'll have a day where we just go through and finish up a bunch of stuff. And then we donate them to Linus or something like that, someplace where they need quilts for babies or for small quilts for kids or nursing homes, or, you know, they always take the lap quilts for over the wheelchairs and things like that. And so we'll go through and do it about once a year.
So our last question is actually about the box, which is, can we make multiple payments or just the 2? And it is only set up for 2 payments, so you can do all of it now, or you can do part now and then part in a few months, however that works best for your budget. And the pre-sale is open and will be open until April 19th, so you have time to kind of look at your budget, make some decisions, and hopefully join us on this very festive December event of ours, because you're going to film a lot of stuff for this.
Yes.
Yes.
There's going to be a lot of things filming for this. Stand up, Ron.
Oh.
This is time for our big howdy do.
Okay.
So we're going to be filming a tutorial every day. You guys, I just hope you love this. I mean, I've loved putting it together. He loves me, you can tell. He just can't stop looking at me.
I do.
Anyway, we do love this. It's good for 2 weeks today. It's a pre-sale until April 19th, which is a day after our 42nd anniversary. Are you proud of me for remembering that?
I'm surprised.
He's the rememberer. I'm like, so April 18th is our anniversary. Anyway, it'll be open then, and we hope you guys are able to get one. Pre-sale it. It's going to be awesome. We're super excited about giving it to you this year. And we hope you guys have a wonderful day. And next week, Facebook Live will be back, and Kate will not be behind the camera. She'll be like,
it'll be Amy Berrickman and I talking
Oh,
about
awesome.
upcycled projects for Earth Day.
yeah, that is awesome. So Amy and Kate will be back next week. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and Merry Christmas early to all of you. We'll see you later.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, perfect.